we've talked a lot on the YouTube channel about the Mafia franchise, and guys, look, I'm a huge fan of Mafia. This trilogy that we have so far, and what I'm hoping to see in the future of this franchise moving forward, that being Mafia 4 and so on and so forth, guys. We've got the definitive edition as well, which is most recently, and I believe that that was a taste, kind of dipping their toes in the water once again with the Mafia franchise, that being Hangar 13 as well as Take-Two. And so I think they wanted to see, is there still a solid fan base around this game for us to really make sense to fully greenlight Mafia 4? And so I want to talk about that here in this segment of the show. You guys can check out all of my Mafia 4 content here on the YouTube channel. We have a lot of it, guys. A lot of you guys are really into Mafia just like myself and are hoping, keeping your fingers crossed, that we see a continuation, which I do believe we will see, by the way. So let's talk about it, guys. Will we see Mafia 4? Let's answer the question. Yes, I believe we will, guys. I believe that there is a big enough fan base around this franchise. Now, that being said, do things need to change in this franchise? In my personal opinion, absolutely. If it wants to continue past Mafia 4, there has to be some pretty big changes, in my opinion. Now, what do we know so far about Mafia 4? There has been numerous leaks, rumors that the setting for Mafia 4 is in Las Vegas, which I think is absolutely great. I think that is the perfect place to have Mafia 4. We know that 2K ended up going ahead and registering a number of different trademarks for Mafia. So obviously that gives us the thought of like the definitive editions potentially, as well as maybe Mafia 4. So it's very interesting to say the least when it comes to at least the leaks and the rumors. There are rumblings that we are getting a Mafia 4 sooner rather than later. But is Mafia 4 sustainable if it releases kind of similar to the original 3 games? And my answer is absolutely not. So what am I getting at here, guys? 2K Games and Take-Two Interactive, the makers of obviously, or the publishers, I guess you could say, of none other than Grand Theft Auto. We know Rockstar Games is the developer, publishers Take-Two, and Take-Two knows a thing or two about obviously, what works and what seems to not work as well. And I feel like they would take one of their other existing IPs and kind of implement certain things similarly here to the Mafia franchise. Mafia up to this point, guys, has been pretty much the exact same thing as far as, just having a single, game mode. They haven't had, really an expansion, so to speak, on different game modes and things of that nature. They certainly have DLC that come out, but usually, guys, after you're done playing the campaign, that being in the Mafia franchise, 1, 2, or 3, most likely you're going to move on to other games. This is what most of us end up doing. You play the campaign, it's awesome. Maybe you play it a second time over. You want to do all the side missions and things of that nature, and then you move on to other games. If you remember, you end up playing the game again when the DLC comes out, but that's not everybody. What does Mafia 4 need to do? Well, it needs to add a full package. We talk about this all the time on the YouTube channel, guys, and I will continue to talk about it because AAA titles, any AAA title that ever comes out, needs to have a full package. That being single-player story, co-op modes, and multiplayer modes. They need to have everything, guys. When you're talking about right now, where we are, 2021, in the world of gaming, people expect more. When it comes to these games, they expect everything that these games could possibly encompass, and I believe Mafia could really take a page out of Grand Theft Auto's book. They could easily take out the Mafia Online type of concept that GTA has with Grand Theft Auto Online. I think that it's a perfect place where you could do that. We've seen it with Red Dead Redemption Online. We've seen it with Grand Theft Auto Online. Mafia Online would be absolutely awesome. Being able to play with your friends in the campaign or side missions, things of that nature, would be awesome as well. Having the single-player story is great as well, but I think people sometimes get really concerned about what the future of their franchise looks like if developers decide to go ahead and kind of add more into the games and put more money into it to kind of create put more resources into it. What could that mean? Could that mean if it fails, then it never gets another game ever again? The way I look at it, guys, is it's definitely better to try and fail than to never try at all and then it fails anyway, because over time people will only a lot of these games have a certain shelf life, and then they end up kind of going the way of to the wayside essentially, and then people just move on to other games. So I just want to see, I believe it would be very sustainable to see Mafia 4 at least add the online aspects as well as co-op, and I think that's going to bring people back over and over again to this franchise. I really do. And I think that that's something that would really change the game for us in the Mafia community. For me, for one, guys, and I've said this many times, I believe that Mafia and the franchise they've created up to this point is better than Grand Theft Auto. I like GTA, guys. It's a good franchise, but Mafia, in my opinion, that time period and just everything that game encompasses, the story especially, is just so good. And I want to see that continue. And I think a lot of people just haven't really even given it the time of day, the real chance that they should have, whereas they're just putting all their time and effort into Grand Theft Auto, which I understand that. Grand Theft Auto is still a really good game, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, you have a lot more modes and such that you can play in GTA, but there's something about Mafia that makes it very, very special. And I want to see that continuation. I think it's up to us to voice our opinion, to Hangar 13, to Take-Two, that we want to see a full package in Mafia 4, if that's in the cards as far as what they are, if they're working on Mafia 4 at this point in time, which I do believe they are. So will we see Mafia 4, guys? I want to, ask a question to you guys. Do you think we're going to see Mafia 4? I do. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Mafia 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.